right. Hi, Heather. Oh my God, one of my non-Blockhead friends is here. Here we go. Okay. Thank you, Tara. Okay, sorry guys. This is my first time moderating or like hosting a live. There we go. Ashley now. If you were in our live last week on TikTok, you know that like, oh gosh. Okay, some of my non-Blockhead friends are here. This is going to be a blast. This is a real peek into Melanie's fandom. Okay, Ashley, why don't I see you? Ashley, I've accepted your request. Great, I have colleagues here. Hi. Accept. Hi, Megs. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Heather. Okay, hi.
I think we did it. Oh my gosh.
Thank God we didn't have as many technical difficulties yet, you know, compared to what we did last week. Oh my gosh. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to PCD group therapy session number 2. Would you like to introduce yourself, Ashley?
Yes. So I'm here on the Gacky Girls account, which is my sister's account. We do a lot of New Kids on the Block content, and I do TikTok. That's how Melanie and I met. She suggested doing these therapy sessions, which I was all for. So my name's Ashley. Thanks for being here.
Hi, and I'm Melanie. I am from Toronto, Canada. This is my personal account, right? Like lately, it's just a lot of New Kids and my dog. It used to be a lot of fitness, but you know, this is what I have fun with now. So here we are. If you don't mind, for the people in our chat, do you want to let us know your name? And if you don't mind, tell us where you are joining us from. That would be super cool.
I see a lot of beautiful Canadians in here. I see my sister Elena, who's part of our Gacky Girls group, is here.
Hello. Oh, Melanie, who is in my photo group on the cruise, she says that she loves Happy, and Happy is my dog.
Oh, your dog is really cute. I'm actually in my dog's room right now. That's where I'm doing this from.
Wait, sorry, your dog has a room?
Well, it's my spare bedroom, but it's
I love it.
It's where she's kenneled in. So, my sister Sam's here too. Hi, Sammy. All the Gacky Girls are on here.
All right, so if you guys joined us last week, we held a similar live over on TikTok. I think there were some familiar faces or familiar names here, but and we had a blast. Thank you to everyone who joined us. The challenge with TikTok is that for somebody to go live, for somebody to jump into the live and appear on screen, they have to have like a minimum amount of followers. So it was kind of limiting. So we heard back from a few people that they love to have this therapy session over here on Instagram. So it's a little bit more accessible. So here we are. Thank you for joining.
Where everyone's from. That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I see colleagues. Hi, Nick. I see my colleagues. So there's like a bunch of like non-Blockheads. So they're probably like, what the hell? If this gives me any insight into all this new kidding that Melanie does like during the summer and when she takes off in October. There's my director. Awesome. Hi, Linda.
I love it. People are saying hi to Donnie, and I'm like, what the heck?
So I don't know if he's here right now, but initially when I went live and my audio wasn't working again, thank you for flagging that for me, folks. Donnie was in here. I don't know if he's back, but here's hoping. Okay, so do we want to get started and find our first guest? Okay, so, thoughts and prayers for me? Okay, and entertain everybody, please. Ashley, entertain people.
Okay, while she's figuring that out, I'm just going to show this picture behind me, because this is one of my prized New Kids possessions, and I brought it up to my basement to have in this live video for all of you, because, yeah, I just think it's the worst thing I've ever seen, and I kind of love it. And you can't tell, but it's full of sparkles. So, okay, Megs is here too, so we got a lot of people. Hey!
Hi.
Hi, Emmi. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry.
And Marina.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
We are so happy to have you. I we were just talking. So kind of for anyone who's watching this here on Instagram, that isn't on TikTok or hasn't been on TikTok, I want you guys to share your handles because that's how I found you two. Was on TikTok. That's how Melanie and I met, was TikTok. So anyway, welcome. You are the baby Blockheads.
Yes, we are.
Two of many.
Yes.
So tell real quick your names, your TikTok or your Instagram handles or both. And then we have some questions for you. We're ready to roll. We're so excited.
I'm Emmi. I'm from Dallas, and my Instagram is Emmi Cruz, and my TikTok is the same thing.
I'm Marina. I'm from Rhode Island, and my TikTok is marina.delsanto, and then my Instagram is marina.delsanto_.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you guys could join us. I guess, first question, I'm sure you get this all the time, but how did you even start watching Youth on the Block?
I started when I was in the 6th grade. It started from watching Donnie on Wahlburgers. It was really funny because my family at the time wanted to watch from Mark, and I was like not interested. And I started watching, and there was an episode where all the guys, I think they were preparing for like the Boston Marathon or something, and they were rehearsing in that episode. And I was like, oh, this guy's like in a band. Like, I love music. I'm a musician myself, so I wanted to see what it was about. So I looked them up on YouTube just to see like what it was about, and I saw The Right Stuff and Single were the first 2 videos I ever watched. And to see the differences in time and to see how long they were doing it, I was like, this is so cool. So I just kind of started watching more and more and more. And then they've just kind of been my world basically ever since.
That's awesome. I know you do some really fun videos on TikTok with all the songs that you love and everything, and you're a Jordan girl, so that's really cute.
I am. Yeah.
When I was in 7th grade, my mom got me tickets to the mixtape tour in 2019, and my mom says, as soon as I saw Donnie, my face lit up and I was in love, and she like saw on my face like this was my boy band. And I remember I didn't know like any of the songs. I was not like a boy band kind of girl. Like, I liked One Direction in them, but like I was not into boy bands, especially like 80s and 90s. But it started with Step by Step, and now I'm like traumatized by Step by Step. Like, I over that song. Don't know why. But yeah, so that's how and it was through my mom. Still a fan today, so she went to concerts all the time, and yeah, now we're here. So
I think it's so funny too because now Marina and I are like, me, Marina, Christina, we're like the best of friends. We talk every day. Like, she's so far away from me, and I just hate that she's not by my side, because when we're at New Kids events, we're inseparable. So when we're gone, it's like, oh, I really miss Marina, I miss Christina. I think it's really cool.
mm-hmm.
You are all of us, because that's, again, I wouldn't know Melanie if it wasn't for New Kids on the Block or TikTok. Meeting each other through the fandom. Some of my
best. We didn't even see each other on the boat.
It's so funny. But this is how you make intense, lifelong friendships, and why the PCD is so strong. Because
Yep.
you spent 4 whole days directly with all of your close friends, and now we're in real life, guys.
Mm-hmm. We have a group chat, and in it every day we've been talking like, I'm sad, I miss this, I miss that, look at this, it's so bad.
I love it. Melanie, you have any questions for
Yeah, so my question is, and I've been asking this of everybody, what was your most legendary moment on this past cruise? So, Marina, do you want to start?
Ooh, okay.
Or one of the top legendary moments. I have a feeling you probably have a few.
Yeah, I'd say definitely when Donnie pulled us up on Halloween night, and we walked up on stage, and I could see it click his head when we were wearing diapers. And
okay, she said they were wearing diapers, okay? When they got up on stage. I don't want anybody to miss that.
That was really the moment. when
For
I
context,
saw your first, and then all of a sudden I saw the diapers, and I was like, "You guys, that is legendary. That's a legendary moment for sure."
for context, we were baby blockheads, so that
Yes.
makes
You are. Or
yeah. I could see it click in his head. I was like, yeah, he definitely just realized that we were wearing diapers.
What about you, Emmy? What was your legendary? What was one of your
Ah,
legendary moments on the boat? And
one
it
of
can't
my,
be wearing diapers on stage.
yeah, I was gonna say one of my many. That one was a good one. But for me, being a Jordan girl, when we on Bring Back the Time, we ended up matching with the guys, and that was so not planned. And and Jordan came over to us. He crowd surfed to us, and he like saw our shirts. We were all matching and everything. And my whole dream, my whole entire life has just been to dance with Jordan. That was it. I didn't want a selfie, nothing. That's what I wanted. And he started dancing with us, and we were singing with him. We were like in a big circle, like baby blockheads and Jordan. And seeing his face like light up around us was so like so fulfilling. That was all I could have ever wanted, was to dance with him. And he was so welcoming of us. He thought our outfits were great. Like it was just that moment as a Jordan girl, not knowing that, you know, not I may not get this again, or who knows, you know, with another guy. It was so special. And he was so nice and kind to not just me but all of us. He was really sweet, and it was just like that was day two, you know. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this can't get any better, you know. He really like went above and beyond for me and for my friends. So
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Ashley, do you have any other questions?
so, oh gosh, what was the one I was gonna? I typed them all up.
I think you were gonna ask how they ended up on the boat or something.
Yeah, okay,
like
so
that.
yeah. You've heard about the cruise, you've maybe seen Rock This Boat, or, you know, in all the things, you know, we're talking about the cruise coming up. What was kind of the linchpin where you guys are like, I'm in, I gotta do this now? Or was it always gonna happen?
it was kind of always for me. Again, when I first became a fan, I remember they weren't on tour when I first became a fan, so like seeing them on social media wasn't like a thing. So I just watched their YouTube videos, and you get to a certain point on YouTube when you reach the cruise videos. So I was like, what is this cruise? Like, what is this? And I started watching, and I would watch all of them. And I remember one time I was like 11 at the time, so I looked up the prices and the ages, and it was impossible. So I was like, one day when I'm old enough and I make my own money and I save, like that's gonna be my thing. And I just finally was able to do it this year.
So did you guys know that, like, I know you knew each other from social media and concerts, but like, did you make that decision as a team, as like a group of friends, or did you each individually say, we're gonna go? Okay. So
Yeah.
how'd that work for you?
I don't remember for you, Marina. I remember one time I was talking to Christina one time, and we were talking about the tour, like the mixtape tour. She's like, are you going to any shows? And I told her what shows I was going to. And she asked about the cruise. I said, yeah, I'm going. She's like, oh, me too. And then she was like, what dining? And I said, my dining. And it just kind of happened to be the same thing. And then I started talking to Marina, and Marina had the same thing. And then I started talking to Avery. She ended up having the same. So it just happened to like work out so well. And we were like, oh, there's our little group of 5. It worked out perfectly.
Emmy, would you have been on the 2020 cruise?
No, I had planned to, but I didn't get on. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Marina? What was that deciding factor that made you just go for it?
Well, I obviously, before this year, I couldn't go on it because I just turned 16 in August. So I was like, this is my year to do it. Because when they announced it in February, I was like, okay, let me check the dates. And then I checked the dates, and it was October. So I was like, I got to do this. Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You never know what could happen. So I was like, YOLO, I'm going to do it. And then I had a fear at first because I was like, how am I going to afford this? Who am I going to, like, meet on the boat? And because all of my friends were kind of, like, younger. And then I, like, met Emmi, and I became closer with Christina. And I was like, this is my friend group now. Like, this is who I will be on the boat with and who I will be hanging out with the whole time. And so that kind of how it, like, escalated. My mom was like, we're doing it. Like, we have to do it. Because I watched, like, Rock This Boat, and I watched, like, all videos of, like, the game shows and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to be there one day. And, yeah.
So you had your mom came with you, because somebody just asked in chat if you guys had parents that came with you.
Yeah,
I did not.
Okay. I often wonder, like with the concerts this year, there was a trailer for the cruise right before the concert started, and I was like, this is such a good idea. I'm really
Right.
curious how many people after seeing that, like maybe they were kind of waffling or they were not aware of the cruise, and they saw that commercial at the start of the concert and they were like, that's it, I'm good, and like they ran home. So if that's you in the chat, if that commercial that you saw ahead of the concert was a deciding factor for you, let us know. Or if it was something else, please let us know in the chat. We'd love to know.
I think it's really funny, Marina, that you said once in a lifetime. So my last question that I have for you guys is, are you going to go next cruise if there is one, or when there is one?
Definitely. Definitely.
Lifetime. That's how we all get suckered in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've already made like every paycheck that I get. So if someone's coming back home, is a small portion of it. Every paycheck has already gotten to the next one. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I am ready.
That's a smart way to do it. You're planning ahead and you're carving out some money from each paycheck. That's good.
Yep.
That's responsible. I'm in my real life a realtor, and so I applaud your good financial.
Very responsible.
Well, thanks you guys for being here. Questions that you had for the group or for the chat?
Somebody said we're gonna need a bigger boat next time. Yes.
I was honestly so surprised, like when seeing all the videos and coming for like first walking on. I have all of our reactions when we first walked on, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this thing is huge. You can hear me in my video. I'm like, this thing is way bigger than I expected. And then you start to see the people, and then we left for the I think we had the game show, and then we came back for that night, and it was just packed full of people, and I was like, oh my gosh. It was like first time, like, whoa.
To see what 3,000 people actually physically looks like is pretty mind-blowing, for sure.
Yeah, it like, again, you've seen all the videos, but you only see like a small part of it.
Yeah. When
you actually get to see like where the angles are from and people filling in, I was like, this is a lot, but I got used to it.
Nice. I don't have any other questions. I think we have some other people who are ready to kind of come on deck and answer a few questions. Thank you so much for joining us, Emmi and Marina.
Awesome.
Thank you. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, how do I take people off here? Oh boy. Oh, bear with me.
I don't even know.
You got it.
I don't know how to do it. I didn't look this up ahead of time. Darn. Okay, you guys might have to stay on camera for a little bit. We'll see.
Okay.
MS.
I'm trying to think. If you go, like, there's 3 dots on the bottom, and if you click on it, it'll tell you who's all in the chat, I think. I'm sorry.
Emmi, press the X.
Oh, do you guys exit?
Oh, wait, I can't hear you.
You tell us how technology
Emmi,
we're the you need help.
Emmi, press the X and then press leave.
Okay. Got it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, TikTok folks trying to do IG. Yes, that's it, Donnie. All right, I sent invites to my so-called whatever. Hi, Brooke.
Hi. Excuse me. Hi. I'm losing my voice.
Oh, no. Is that the bird flu?
I'm coming down off of it.
Okay.
So, I mean, it might be a touch.
It might be a touch. All right. Now, let's see. Where can we... I sent an invite to Nikki. Right.
She should be right here then.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I have to accept. Okay. For those of you who do not know, this is Brooke, and she is one half of the My So-Called Whatever podcast, which is a podcast that's been going 5 years strong, and it's dedicated, it's the nostalgia podcast, 80s and 90s nostalgia, as well as New Kids on the Block nostalgia, where they share a lot of different stories, and they do like movie rewatches. Yeah, and you guys have hosted Donnie and Joe on your podcast, right?
We have. Yes.
Okay. Ooh. Hold on. Still working on bringing in Nikki. Take it away,
Okay.
Ashley.
All right. I'm just going to say,
I think, Brooke, you have. Is there some background noise, Brooke?
Maybe.
Are you
All right,
able
hold
to
on.
turn it down?
I can. Hold on.
Thank you.
Let me diagnose this.
Okay. Now, Nikki, I'm getting a notice that you're unable to join. I don't know what. Okay, accept. I'm going to accept. Okay, Nikki is.
okay, well, doing that, we brought up the bird flu.
Yes, we need some. You need to define that for the uninitiated.
I love. Okay, and I was just saying too that Brooke's doing what I did last week on TikTok Live, where I was running around my house, signal or whatever. So
I'm trying to find a quiet place.
that's much better.
There. And I am in my daughter's bedroom.
I'm in my
Nikki, I keep accepting your request to join, and it's not happening.
Oh my gosh. Rat tail.
Okay, you know what?
Adrian, bird flu. Awful.
Okay, I'm getting a notice again that MSCW Nikki is unable to join. I'm sorry. I'll keep trying. Okay.
Updating her Instagram, that'll help. So we'll go with just Brooke for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brooke.
Hi. Yes.
Last week you were in our TikTok live last week, and we asked you for your legendary moment on the boat. Do you mind telling us that again for anybody who wasn't there?
Sure. So, and I was thinking about this, and I'm like, gosh, what did I even say? I know that I said, because there were so many. But I know, like, my number one was, although, like, I mean, it was amazing. It was 4 years. We were so ready. I originally wasn't going to be on in 2020. I had other things, like a thing I couldn't. But just seeing my friends and being all together and the love and everything was so amazing. So it really made the whole thing legendary. That being said, I remember I did specifically say, and I still feel this way, I have missed Jordan so much on social media that it was so nice to see him for the 4 days and just doing his thing, and it was just really nice. We get updates from the other guys on social media, and we see John on his show, and it's amazing. And I've just really missed Jordan, so it was nice to see him.
Yes, shout out to those Jordan girls out there.
I think Nikki said she's able to come on, or she thinks she's going to be able to.
Yeah, I saw that, but I keep hitting accept and it's not happening. Nikki, can you maybe leave one more time and come back in, and hopefully that'll do wonders? But in the meantime, Brooke, I've got another question for you. So,
okay,
how do you talk to non-Blockhead friends about the cruise? Like, how do you describe it? What is their general reaction?
Honestly, in my life, most of my friends who are not, I'll tell you, most of the girlfriends that I have a deep appreciation for new kids. Just from, the nostalgia aspect, have been to concerts or whatever, although they may not make it on a cruise, they can appreciate that we go and that we love it and it's so fun and they think that it's great for us. Family sometimes is like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But I just say, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And that's okay. But like, think about what if the monkeys were all like alive and doing a cruise. And like you were able to go. Come on now. Like, to like the older generation in my family, that would be like their thing, and they would go and they would love it. And so I'm just like, think about it like that.
Yeah.
And they kind of get it, but also like I have very opinionated women in my life. I love them for it. I get a little bit of that from them. So, you know, but for the most part, they don't yuck my yum, and I don't yuck theirs. So
I've never heard that term before, yuck my yum.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Ashley? How do your non-Blockhead friends and families react to hearing that you go on a cruise?
It's kind of funny because I'm on a team for real estate, and my head of my team is an older gentleman. He loves Barry Manilow live a million times.
Sorry, can you go back a bit? There was some background noise in the chat.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my team lead on my team for real estate loves Barry Manilow.
Okay. Yeah.
They've seen him live a million times. They pay people who, if I get made fun of, I can just say, like, have you been at a meet and greet last month for Barry Manilow? Like,
right.
This is the thing people do for things that they love. So I'm lucky. Plus, like I said, my sisters this page Gacky Girls is for me and my sisters, and so I just make them do these things with me, and then no one in my family can judge because it's 3 of us and not just 1 of us.
Oh, there you go. You have support.
Yeah.
Strength in numbers, right?
Uh-huh.
What made me think about this question is like last week when I went back to work, I had a quick meeting with a new member of my team at work, and it was a little getting to know you session, and she, we were talking about where I was, and then when I explained the cruise to her, and this happens a lot, people are just like, wait, what? And you can see like the equations and the numbers all like floating around their head, and they're just like, what? And then once I explain it, they're like, that's so cool. I've never had anybody, give me a hard time about it. And I was telling Ashley this, or at least they haven't said anything to my face. If they have, it's behind my back, so whatever. But at least, yeah, everybody's been really supportive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's funny when friends, like if they do sort of make fun of me for it. And I was, I mentioned their favorite football team.
Yeah.
If they make fun of this shirt, I'm like, you wear your favorite football team's jersey every Sunday. I can go to the grocery store and sell a block here, guys. It's totally normal.
100%. Yes. Guys, I'm going to get off of this and let Nikki come on this profile.
Okay.
And we'll see if that works.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Actually,
thank you.
It's interesting that you bring that up because a friend of mine, Melissa, I don't know if you're here. Hi, Melissa. She actually came with me last year to Fenway. Right before the cruise, she sent me this podcast. I can't remember the life of it, but it was about like the joy that we get from fandoms, regardless of what type of fandom. And the host said, like, if you're into a boy band or an actor or a movie or whatever, sometimes that's looked down upon. But if you're a super fan for a football team or another sport team, like you're buying their merchandise, you're buying tickets to a game. Sometimes they're really expensive. You're often traveling to games as well too. You're doing little fantasy leagues and your little play whatever leagues.
Yeah.
And nobody bats an eye at that. Like, that's covered in the news. Like, that's a fandom that's covered in the news. And that's okay. But our fandom, sometimes people give us a hard time for it. But
that's
whatever.
That's why we're here for each other. Because then we have someone we can talk to and be like, hey, did you hear about the new Wahlburgers opening? And are you going to go? And like, we need our friends. And that's it.
Okay. Yay! Oh my gosh, what a journey. What a journey.
I have no idea what was going on, but I'm here.
Here we are. Okay. Can you share your legendary moment from the cruise?
Sure. So I think my most, the biggest legendary moment was at Sail Away. And I just took a second to look around.
Wait, do you want to define what Sail Away is?
Oh, sure. So sail away is the deck party that they have right when the boat actually leaves the port. So everybody gets on the deck and the guys come out and it's amazing.
It's the
And
first time we see them.
right. So, oh my gosh, it like all of a sudden came to me that like this was happening, like this is actually happening, and I started to cry even before the oath. So
Look,
I was
Donnie just said, "You're free, Nikki."
so I'm gonna start crying now, just because we waited so long, you guys. Like we were, you know, the new kids did so much for us, like coming on and doing all those things during quarantine. Like I really truly didn't know if this was ever going to happen again. And just being there and like, this is freaking happening. Like we're all here and just seeing our friends. And then the guys like literally walked right by us. And I was like, what is happening? So it was amazing.
I mean, after, like, typically a sail away party is, like, so surreal, but after 4 years and the pandemic and everything else, it's just even more just insane.
Yes. And I do have to say, I was really excited because Jordan saw Brooke and I's costume and he liked it at GPS night. So that was another legendary moment.
Okay, and tell us what your costume was again.
So I was a lobsterman and Brooke was a lobster.
So. In person. So that's the best part about cruise too, is like all the work people put into their costumes. And when I saw you two, I was just like, damn it, you did it. You did it.
I remember my very first cruise, I decided when it comes to the theme nights, I'm like, I'm not spending any money on this. I'm going to use whatever I have in my closet, which I totally respect. But I got on the cruise and the level of creativity and talent that the Blockheads have, it's just, it's wild. And it was so inspiring because I was like, then the following year, I was like, okay, I can get a little bit creative. And then I turned it up a little bit more this year. But I mean, my big question is, how do some of you guys travel with some of these costumes?
Right.
Like one of my first costumes, I was Tank Girl, and when I was looking at pictures of her, she had like, you know, ammunition and like fake guns. I was like, okay, I can't travel like on a plane from another country with that. But
right.
Honestly, like disco balls and
like the Pac-Man girls, they were freaking amazing. How did they transport their costumes?
Wait, the who?
The Pac-Man girls. Did you see them with the lights? Yes. They were freaking awesome.
The Zoltar, and then she was a kid the day before.
Yes. So cool. So cool. Like, it was just amazing. Seeing everybody's costumes is like the best. Because they are just
let us know what some of your favorite costumes were that you've seen. Yes. Like either when you're on the cruise or if you've seen pictures of the cruise.
Yes. And also, John saw it and he did, because I have to admit, I wore the same GPS costume as I wore the last time. But you know what? It worked. I actually threw it away. So it's going to be there's going to be a new costume next time. But John goes, "You're from Maine?" And I was like, "Yes." So yeah, it was just fun. The whole thing was just being with everybody and being with friends. I mean, you can't ask for a better time. You really can't. You really can't.
Ashley, do you have a question?
Well, I was just going to say, I think the fun thing about GPS night is when the guys come out and you see what their costumes are too.
Yes.
Like the baby Blockheads were saying, when they were dressed just like the guys on Bring Back the Time. Like those are moments. And in fact, in 2018, a friend of ours was dressed like John. And John was dressed like John from, oh God, what video was it? Probably
was it Hangin' Tough Live with the orange shirt?
The orange shirt, yeah, and the pants, like the high pants with the white socks and the black shoes. Yes.
So that was, those are the moments too that like you can't recreate it, you can't expect it. You just have to live in your moment, show up with your best costume you can think of. Sometimes people want to be so original and like come up with something different, but I'll tell you that my sister Sam was Hulk Hogan and there were like 5 or 6 Hulk Hogans that
okay, I was Madonna on 80s night.
Exactly.
AKA Night of 1,000 Madonnas, but listen, whatever.
Yeah.
I had fun.
But let me just say, your Madonna, spot on. Spot on. I saw videos.
I was specifically Madonna from Desperately Seeking Susan, and a key part of that costume was the jacket and it was really hot wearing that jacket, so I wasn't wearing it for most of the night. It was a bit much, but
Yes.
it was a like a partner costume that I had going with my friend Tara. Hi, Tara.
Oh, yay. Yeah, we were we had the Rock and Jock basketball
Yeah.
uniforms,
Yeah.
and like I had thought like nobody's gonna think of this. Like, oh yeah, there were like 20 of us.
Yeah,
All the same.
I think one of the other Rock and Jocks is coming up next after you guys.
Oh yay!
That was a
I
really
think
freaking amazing costume.
yes, and Donnie just said I enjoyed the multi Hulk Hogan's and Madonnas.
Aw.
I think what I love about GPS night is because you can see from afar, you know, people that, you know, you live in the same city. You're like, oh yes, you're Canadian and fellow Toronto,
Yes.
because you're both like we're all wearing Raptors jerseys.
Yeah.
So it's nice to make that connection with somebody from afar and
Yeah. I do have to say, if the girl from Maine, the other girl from Maine that I saw across the pool that I was waving at, I think you were dressed as a black bear. I was trying to get your attention because I wanted to get a picture with you, but I don't think she was understanding me. But I'd love to meet you. We need to have a Maine meetup.
That's your next my so-called whatever mission, or
Yes.
I know you've got a list of them. But
Yeah.
did you notice in the chat that Donnie said that he was ready to come back on the show?
What?
He did. He said that. I tried to take a screen grab, but I was a little afraid that I would end this whole live.
Donnie, we would love to have you back on. Oh my gosh, we have so much fun with you. Yes.
That's so great.
In the chat, like, I wasn't the only one who saw that, right? Like, does anybody want to confirm? Donnie, do you want to state that again? And we can all take screen grabs and hold it against you.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
And yes,
So Nikki, how do you talk to your friends? Oh, Meg's got it. Awesome. How do you talk to your friends about the cruise? Or if you meet somebody new and they ask you, hey, where were you, you know, around October 20th?
It was actually a really funny conversation, but I don't know if I can say I didn't give a shit. Like I was proud, and I'm like, I'm going on the New Kids cruise, and I can't tell you the positive remarks I got from people. They were just like, really? And people that I convinced to go to like the next shows because they didn't know New Kids, and I was like, oh my gosh, sit down, let me show you some pictures, like let me just show you. And like people were really supportive. My mom didn't really understand it. She has dementia now, and unfortunately, but I get to see her this week, and I'm totally going to show her all the pictures anyway.
I love
So,
it.
but yeah, anyway, my family is super supportive. My husband put Brooke and I on the boat. So,
Well, we're getting a lot of feedback here, guys.
Yeah. Does anybody have like a second device that's streaming? No. Okay.
I think it's
I
Meg's,
have.
maybe.
Sorry, say that again.
I think it might be Meg's microphone. She got feedbacky.
Do you have a mic? Meg's, yeah.
Is it still feedbacky?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what's.
do I have to exit out? I'm sorry.
No. That's okay. That's okay. Megs is next, and there was space for another person, so I thought I would bring
Yay,
her up.
Megs!
Hi, Nikki.
Good to see you.
It's so funny. Like I have yet to meet Brooke and Nikki in person, or Ashley.
Well, no, I met Nikki and Brooke in person. Yeah, I've never met you. I've never met Melanie, so
here we are.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right, well, I'm going to get off so Megs can come on.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
Yes, and Donnie, we would love to have you on the podcast. Yay! Love you guys. Bye.
So for those of you who don't know Megs, she has many claims to fame within the Blockhead community, but she is an all-timer when it comes to cruising, which means she has been on every single cruise. That is 11. That means 11 cruises. If we're counting the virtual cruise from 2020, that means 12. So Hi, Megs. And Megs is in
Hi.
Toronto, just like me.
Yes, Toronto.
Thank you so much for joining us. I have a few questions for you. I'm just going to check my notes, so just pardon me for a second. All right. Yes. Our favorite question. What was your legendary moment on this cruise?
There were a lot. But I think I have two. One more personal and one more of a collective one. My personal one would be the fact that I had interactions with all 5 guys before Sail Away was over. That has never happened on any cruise I've been on. Seeing or having a moment outside of the meet and greet, all 5. So to me, I was like,
considered like
I'm
getting off
good.
boat? You were like, I'm good. I can go now.
I'm good. I turned to my roomie Jenny and I said, I'm good for the rest of the cruise. So that was epic and legendary for me. And the second part was on GPS night, we were up at the very top by the screens and just looking down on the crowd and just seeing everyone. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing, and it almost felt like love coming towards us just because of the way we were facing. But I was like, I understand the high the guys get when they're in the middle and just all the love is pouring towards them. It's you can't describe it.
No, that vantage point from up there is truly unique for sure.
Yeah.
Now, in all of your cruises, now this is going to be a tough one. After all of your cruises, what's the most or one of your top legendary moments?
Again, in 11 cruises, there's a lot, but I think for me, my favorite thing that's ever happened was on the 8th cruise when the guys and Rose Tours surprised all the 8-timers with a ceremony on the Lido deck. And they gave us this beautiful certificate, basically saying, thank you for spending 30 days of your life with us, cruising. And it was just so special. We didn't know it was going to happen. We got a card saying, meet us on the Lido deck. And then that happened. So it was pretty awesome.
And then there was something special that went down on Cruise 10, right?
Yes. Cruise 10, they did another event for, at that time, 10-timers. And we gathered in the room where they do the photo op. And they gave each of us the cruise tour jacket, the black and white one, and it had the 10 cruise patches on it. So that was an awesome gift. Mine hangs in my closet.
I was just about to ask you
I'm
that.
too afraid to wear it or to touch it because to me it's priceless. I know some people had their names embroidered on it. That's something I definitely want to do in the future, but it was a special gift. And it's amazing because I believe at the time there were 111 of us. The number has gone down. Yeah, because some people didn't get to cruise this year, but it's something that 111 people plus the guys and some other people have the jacket. So it's a special club to be a part of. Definitely. But from the moment they did the 8-time event, we all kind of were like, they got us for life now. Like, we can't miss one.
You can't. You can't. Ashley, did you have any questions?
No, I was just thinking as she was saying that being in that club, it has to really feel like when you were a kid and you went to summer camp every summer and like the one summer your parents were like, I'm sorry, you can't go, would have been devastating.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go. All your friends are there.
The first year they moved, and I don't remember what year it was, but the first year they moved the cruise to October, it was our Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And I booked and I went and I was dreading telling my mom that I was missing Thanksgiving. And I finally kind of was like, this is what's happening. And she was like, go have a blast. And thankfully the guys have moved it a couple weeks later now. So we don't miss our Thanksgiving. But if it happened again on Thanksgiving, I'd probably still be on the boat.
I'm still not over Apollo a few years ago, landing on Canadian
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that was our Thanksgiving. And I kind of was like, I already gave up one for the cruise, so I'm not. But the good thing is it came during the time of IG Live. So my mom and I were watching IG Lives after dinner. So, and that's the amazing thing. I mean, when I think back about when the cruise started in 2009 to now, there were no IG lives, there were no Facebook lives. You got on the boat on the Thursday and no one knew what happened unless somebody was able to get a tweet through, So it's so different now. And, which is great because now if you can't go for whatever reason, you're there.
So speaking of social media, and somebody mentioned the TV show, and for those of you who don't know, 2 of the cruises were documented in a TV show called Rock This Boat. And if you were in Canada, it aired. You were able to watch it on Netflix. I know that really was the hook for me. So my question for you is, when you were booking that first cruise, you didn't have the TV show to reference. You didn't have videos on YouTube to give you an idea of what you were getting into. You didn't have anybody's social media posts to look back on. What did you expect? What did you think you were getting into?
I don't know what I was expecting, other than I thought, as they were kind of promoting it, this was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event, as many things have happened over the years that were going to be once in a lifetime, which we've been lucky enough, Fenway, the cruise, stuff like that. But the first time you're like, this is going to be a once in a lifetime thing. And I remember it went on sale 3 days before I was leaving for the UK to see New Kids over there. So I bought my spots and I was like, great. And I was doing meet and greets and Donnie said, when will I see you next? And I was like, the cruise. But when I went on the cruise, I had absolutely no idea what to expect, other than what they kind of promoted. Game show, concert, meet and greet photo. But I think the guys probably thought it was going to be like a one-time deal. But we got on the boat and just that energy, I've never felt anything like it. It's a different energy than a concert. I've always said if I could do a show or I could do the cruise, I would pick cruise hands down. That's my personal opinion. So I think when we all got on that boat and we felt it, we all kind of were like, this is going to happen again. And now, including the virtual cruise, the next one is going to be lucky number 13. How crazy is that?
As the cruise has evolved each year, what's the biggest improvement that you've noticed?
Well, first of all, the first cruise, there were no assigned seating. Everything was first come, first served. So if you thought you were in lines all the time on this cruise, no, you weren't. Because it literally was stand in the line all day or just sit where you end up sitting. So that definitely changed after cruise 1. Another thing that came from the cruise that everyone, cruisers, non-cruisers, can be thankful for is how we do our meet and greets now. Mm-hmm. Because I want to say cruise number 3 or number 4 is when we kind of saw how the guys were lined up. And I don't know who thought of it, but they were like, well, why don't we line up in the order the guys are so that way you can hug them while you're going in or going out? Because the first 2 cruises and meet and greets before that, you literally ran into the room and it was like 10 girls running at the guys. And if you wanted someone specific, you had to stay with them the whole time. Now, my first meet and greet, my only goal, because I thought it was the only time I was ever going to meet them.
Yeah.
But my goal was I want to hug all 5. So I went and I saw Donnie and I saw Danny and John. And then they yelled photo and I turned and there were 3 girls standing around Donnie. So I was like, well, that's not. So Joe happened to be standing beside me and I said, can I stand beside you? And he was like, of course. So thankfully someone in their wisdom came up with this system and now we have at least some sort of orderly way to do this so that you at least get to hug each guy. And these meet and greets are fast. So, I mean, when I go in, basically, I just thank each of them for an amazing weekend because at that point it's coming to the end and that's about as much as you can get out. Thank you.
So given all of your experience and like leading up to the cruise, a bunch of blockheads on the New Kids Instagram account shared their tips for cruising. Now, again, given all of your experience, what is your top tip or recommendation for cruising?
Well, I have to say all the tips were on point.
Yeah.
But the piece of advice I always give to people is I just tell them to go with no expectation except for, the basic things that we're supposed to get. Yeah. Again, game show, concert, meet and greet. Because when you go in just knowing you're going to have a good time with your friends and the time with the guys is the bonus, you can't go wrong. It's an amazing weekend. It's time with your girls. Like, when do you get to have 4 days with your friends without your spouses, unless they come, which I have to say, this cruise had the most men I've ever seen. The most. I saw so many men walking with their girlfriends, their wives. There were men that were just there, because they like cruising or for other reasons, but there were so many men, and that has been such an awesome thing to see over the years as well. Because I think when we started, it was literally like Kevin and Mark Porter, who are also all-timers. But when you go in with no expectation, you just have the best time of your life. There's nothing like it.
100%. I think you hit the nail on the head there too, that, like, these are friendships that you're making and you're spending time with your friends, and that's really the bonus is the guys, but the cake itself is the friendship making time with the people and the people you get to meet and all that stuff. So my question for you, based on all this, knowing that we've all made these immense, intense friendships from this fandom, how often do you have that you get together with friends because of New Kids on the Block? Outside of New Kids on the Block.
You and I'm very lucky. It's a lot. Now I'm laughing because Melanie and I both live in Toronto, and we've only gotten together once.
It was one time, and it was on Donnie's birthday.
And it was Donnie's birthday, yes, at Wahlburgers, which was awesome.
Pandemic, we were just allowed to go inside restaurants, and we went to Wahlburgers.
Yeah, that was like my first restaurant I went to when everything was happening. So I always tease that people from Toronto, I never see in Toronto. I see them somewhere else. Yeah. But in regards to other friends, some more often than others, I try to go see my best friend in Charlotte as much as I can. But we'll go to Charlotte. I'll go to Chicago. I'll go to New York. Places that are easy for a lot of people to get to. And then I have friends here in Toronto that I get to see. So it's nice to have that time with your friends outside of New Kids things as well, because sometimes the New Kids things are so go that it's like I saw you, but I didn't really see you, and we didn't really get to talk very much. So it's good, and it's important to try to get with your New Kids friends as much as possible. I see one of my friends saying in baby showers. Yes, one of my friends here that I met because of Donnie, I went to her wedding, I went to her baby shower. So, and it's crazy to me, like, when I think back, like, I'm like, most of the people in my life, I've only known at most 14 years. But it feels like a lifetime.
It's funny you mentioned the baby showers and stuff. We have a friend who I only met because of the cruise, and we're currently trying to plan kind of an impromptu bachelorette party for her. And she lives in Buffalo, New York, and we're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and it's going to be probably in Florida. So it's like this whole, you know what I mean? This whole from all over the country. It's so great. Like, this is what makes me so happy about being able to do the IG live.
Wait, so are you going to Buffalo? Because like Buffalo's really close to Toronto.
Melanie's like, I'm coming.
I'll let you know. I'm so emotional about this stuff, but I'm so happy about all of this, and like that we're doing this, and I'm so glad to have met you, Megs, and hopefully to meet you in person. It's just the friendship.
Yes, another tip I would give is I always say, when you're on the cruise, you either see someone a million times or you don't see them at all.
Right.
So if there is someone that you really want to see, get their room numbers, try and plan a time and a place to meet. Because, there were people, like, I saw Melanie a couple times, but, like, other people, I'm like, I didn't see you at all. And then other people, I'm like, every day you pass them in the hallway going to your room or at the line in the buffet. So, because you get home and you're like, I didn't see that person. I really wanted to see them, especially after 4 years of not seeing people. So that's another tip. Make a list of rooms of the people you want to see. And somebody
Those are some really
brought sticky notes, and I didn't see them one year, but they had left a note, and I still like keep it on my mirror.
Oh,
You
Because it's
guys,
just a sweet little thing. Oh.
oh, fine.
here we go. We have 3 minutes left to
How
this live.
about, hold on. Can we just talk about my Wi-Fi? Can we just
Mine
talk
I think it's
about this
Canadian
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
right now?
crisp and clear.
It seems to be working now.
Megs, you trash my Wi-Fi more than anyone. Donnie Wi-Fi is back. Affectionately, Megs.
Donnie, what was your most legendary
Yes.
moment on the cruise? We have 2 minutes left to this live, but if we need to restart it, I will restart it.
Oh gosh. Well, the whole thing was epic. I'm more enjoying hearing everyone else talk about it. Like I want to jump in and talk to everyone every time they bring something specific up. You know, I think everyone's really capturing it perfectly. You know, I rather than any specific moment, I don't know if I've told anyone this publicly, but I've had a recurring nightmare since the last cruise that I fall asleep and miss the cruise. And it's so specific. Like I walk on the boat and I'm like, hey, and I'm passing people and I go by the Lido deck and I'm like, all right, see you in a while. And I go in my cabin, I fall asleep and I wake up and it's over. And I'm like, oh my God. And I wake up like, oh shit. And I'm like freaked out. And Jenny's like, what's wrong with you? I said, I keep having this dream that I missed the cruise. And she was like, you would never miss the cruise. I said, I know, but it's the worst nightmare. And it's like, it shakes me for days. And so going up to this cruise, I just kept like praying, like, please get me on that boat. And for me, like the sail away party was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was very emotional. And I know, you know, pretty much everyone here has probably been on the cruise. It just went up from about 60 people to 1,700. But well
You guys,
deserved, all you guys.
they're
Well
going to cut us off.
deserved.
Instagram Live is going to cut us off. I'm going to
Come back.
Well, come back.
Okay.
I'll stay. I got 10 more minutes
Okay,
before
okay.
I get
We'll be
to
back.
actually sleep.
Here.
Okay.
I'm going to restart it, and
Okay.
see you shortly.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Stay tuned.
Hi, everyone. Just and Ashley back. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, Donnie. Just hold on. There we go.
Where's your co-host?
She's coming. She's coming. I invited you first. There we go. There we go.
We're back.
All right, what is that paper mache thing behind you now? What is
Oh
that?
my God. Okay. Here's I'll keep it quick.
She's in her dog's bedroom.
Yeah. Whose bedroom?
My dog's.
Your dog.
Like her kennel is in here.
You keep the new kids paper mache poster in your dog's room. Okay.
This is a high quality painting. Okay, so quick story. My husband was a banker. A guy came into his office and was like, I'm a painter. What is your wife into? And my husband was like, she's into New Kids on the Block. So then the guy came back and he was like, I made your wife a painting. I want you to give this to her. I would like $300 for it. And my husband was like, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't agree to like a commission painting. And the guy was like, fine, just take it. What you cannot tell is that it's full of sparkles.
Right.
Confetti. Is there, AKA confetti?
No, it's like sparkles.
Well,
you
like
do
sparkles. So
confetti,
sparkles. So yeah, okay. I still don't understand why it's in the dog's kennel, but okay.
Because that's where she goes live. That's where she goes live when she's co-hosting this PCD group therapy thing we have going.
Yes.
I get it. It's not a problem. Listen, it's okay. I don't feel slighted by it at all. It's nothing like that. I just thought it was funny.
It is funny.
Donnie?
That's why I keep it.
Yes.
Okay, so Halloween night, where did you get that robot head? Where did that come from?
Oh, okay. So all right, it's sort of a long answer, but I'll do my best to keep it short.
Okay.
Because it is a cruise question. Okay. So the blockhead, as you know, is our symbol for blockheads. I'm going to add the comment right now just because because I'm just me. Okay. So anyway,
The
so
mouth is an infinity symbol as well.
the mouth is infinity. The eyes are hearts.
Our hearts.
About a couple, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks before the tour, the mixtape, the new mixtape tour this year, I wanted to have it made. So I was working on the D Nice set, and I wasn't sure if we could get D Nice to do it. He was in Europe and he was flying all over the place, and we were having trouble connecting and getting a crew to shoot his segment. So I had been wanting to do a mascot head, and I spoke to Vinny and KG from Illtown Sluggers and Naughty by Nature, and they have Slugga, with the mascot head. So they connected me with their guy, and literally he made it from I think 10 days until the opening night. So literally until opening night, someone was going to come on stage and pretend to be the Blockhead DJ. And once I got D Nice's footage, I think I got his footage integrated into the show, I think 2 days before opening night. So I just said, you know what, let's save it for the cruise. So like everything with New Kids, everything creatively, like if I come up with something for the tour, or if someone has an idea for a song or a moment in the show, even if it doesn't become part of the show in that moment, eventually it always finds its way. Like that's the thing that I think I love the best, is like I remember one tour Joey had an idea and we didn't get to implement it, and then like 3 tours later I was like, hey Joe, remember that thing you said, why don't we do that right now? And he was like, oh my god, you remember it. And we did it, and it always works out. So that I just saved it for the cruise. And then even on the cruise John and I were going to be the 2 Red Bull drivers, Max Verstappen and Checo Perez. Yeah. So I ordered the uniforms, or the racing uniforms, and they came from I don't know where, and I kept worrying that they were late. So I was already bringing the robot head on the boat to have one of the DJs wear it at some point and surprise everybody.
See, I thought maybe somebody from The Masked Singer made it.
No, so the racing costumes didn't show up. So I had told John I got us the racing costumes, and I had this incredible Red Bull racing hype video that was going to play before we came out. Because John and I always team up, We've been a lot of great duos over the years. So we always kind of tie our costumes together. And he was like, great, I love it. And it was going to be fun. It probably wouldn't have been as cool as what we ended up with. So literally 2 days before the cruise, I still didn't have the costumes. We were worried they weren't going to make it. So I said, well, I'll be the robot. And I called the Masked Singer and asked Jenny and the producers if they can get me Cloodle-Doo. I was going to try to get Cloodle-Doo and wear it on the boat. Couldn't get it. They were like, we don't have it anymore.
Oh my god.
And then
Because you don't have it. You didn't take it?
No. They wouldn't let me, but I didn't want to, but now I would.
It takes up a lot of closet space, probably.
That thing was so heavy. I don't even think people know. Like, we're supposed to talk about the cruise, so let's go back to that. But I tore my calf muscle on the first rehearsal and then performed. The second rehearsal was actually my live performance, and it was really painful. And that head of that thing was, my mouth was here, my face was here, and the top of the chicken head was way up here. It was so heavy. It was terrible. So no good. Anyway, the Blockhead, I just saved it. I knew it was something I just wanted to find a way to implement into what we do. And it just, like everything, if I don't stress and I just trust, it always will find its way to be a good moment. So it was like, I was like, well, all right, well, I'll just wear this. And I put it on, and it came out, and it was fun. And I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear. It wasn't until later, like, I think Tara was telling me, like, oh my God, people love that robot head. I said, really? They didn't really scream that loud. She was like, oh no, it was a roar. I was like, it was? I was like, I couldn't hear shit. But I was like, wow, everyone's really tired tonight. I got to get this party going. So I took the helmet off and just started trying to go crazy.
No, that was the perfect place to debut the robot head.
Yeah, he'll be everywhere from now on.
Yeah,
Love it.
And
Love
I
it.
thought, I thought you guys were talking to, I'm not sure who it was. It was Nikki or Megs, about everybody bringing all their costumes and stuff. And we had to lug this thing. It's in a huge tour case. It's like got cushions and everything to protect it. And I literally was like, I don't know how the fans do this. Like, I don't know how the Blockheads bring all their stuff. I had
they're probably paying for a lot of extra luggage and a lot of overweight luggage. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Or else I figure maybe it's people who are like local. They can like just drive to Miami. I just can't wrap my head around people are flying with some of these elaborate costumes. Yeah. But kudos.
Yeah. Kudos to you guys. Everything that is hard work for me, I think of like what it is for Blockheads. It's like, and everything everyone talked about, as I said, it's so fun to hear the stories, like even the baby Blockheads. Like, I don't know how they became Blockheads. It was really sweet to hear the stories tonight. It's just like people show up and it's, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? Like, where'd you come from? How old are you? What's going on? And we meet new fans, we meet husbands. It's like, okay, how did this happen? And, sometimes they'll just offer it up. And sometimes we never know, sometimes they'll be like, there's a lot of guys on this cruise. Did they start showing up because their wives finally convinced them? Did they show up because they like Blue Bloods? Like, a lot of times we don't know. So when we get to hear
that commercial, it was the cruise trailer.
They're good.
That was pretty good.
They're good. Yeah, that's yeah. I love working on those and building those things with our manager Jared. We go hard on those things. But also like the photo line. I know Megs was saying like, whoever's idea was like, we do our thing and then Blockheads do their thing, right? So we, from the earliest meet and greets in the reunion tour in 2008, I knew like, we're going to have a problem with these meet and greets if we don't get organized. Like 30% of the room is going to get a photo in a moment and everyone else is going to be like, what the heck did I pay for? This is stupid. It's not fair to everyone. We have to do something where everyone can connect with everyone and it becomes a moment for all of us. And so we started doing the structure and the cruise became more structured, but you guys have your whole own thing that we don't know about and we hear about it and we'll hear like stories and you guys will say how you came up with groups and you get in the order we're in. So, it's fun. It's also, there's like a fourth wall that I sometimes don't want to cross. I don't want to go into the line and hear everyone negotiating. I just want to enjoy the results of it. And I know that I know that all the effort you guys all put into everything, like we're putting in similar efforts on our end. And so when it converges, it really is this magical thing. Like you guys put so much time into your costumes and your travel and the efforts you make to get on the boat. And like, we're doing the same thing. Like I'm thinking about this cruise, like editing the opening videos and the reveals and, doing all this stuff like a year in advance. And it's like so much work. And I just marvel at everyone's commitment to having such a great time and making it magical and special and not blowing it. A lot of the work, like one of my things I have to tell myself, like Megs said, is like no expectations. Sometimes I get so involved in the preparation, like, okay, we're going to do Olympics. All right, we all need a lifeguard shirt in each of our colors. Like, I just, I'm like, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to cover all these details. But then I have to let go. Once it's planned, once I put my foot down on that boat, I got to let go. It's like, okay, I'm here for the fans. Like, I'm here to just love everyone and give everything I got to this and no expectations. Just go hard, get your camera out, take selfies, have a great time and don't stop until you get off this boat. That's like, I really do a mental practice before the cruise to like be present for everyone. Just be present at all times. No expectations.
Wow.
Oh my God. That was crazy. She's just disappeared.
She flipped her camera.
I'm so embarrassed.
That's
I have a
okay.
question though, about all the preparation. So with everything that you plan, and you guys do such a great job of like really making sure that like there's a solid going on.
All right, my TV's on. Sorry, I was watching the Celtics and you guys at the same time.
Oh, that's fine. We appreciate you being here. So with all the planning and that, you know, you, like you said, you turn on, you're there, you're getting it done. Was there any moment of this cruise that you just were like, whoa, I did not expect this?
There's always constantly. That's the magic for me personally. I'm sure the other guys feel this way as well. I just can't really speak for them directly to this particular question you're asking. But for me, it's so constant, that experience of, oh my God, I didn't expect this. Oh my God, I didn't expect this. Oh my God. It could be a costume. It could be the walking into the check-in at the boat. Like, you know, I just never know what to expect. And if it's something I am sort of used to, the experience of walking onto the sail away party deck for the first time, I'm used to that experience. Doesn't matter. It's overwhelming every single time. There was some questions earlier. Again, I'm sorry to keep taking it back to what you guys were talking about. I'm just trying to give you my side of these things that some of the other ladies talked about earlier. The first cruise, the first sail away party, there was a cabana in the middle of the Lido deck on the lower level, and so the DJ was on there, and we came up an elevator, I think, and walked out like a glass vestibule and came right out up onto that stage. And we had no idea. Our only experience with cruises was the New Kids on the Block Magic Summer Cruise in 1990, which was really a nightmare.
Was
I
it
think Jordan,
two boats?
It was 2 boats. It was,
Wow.
you know, I want to say it was a great experience, because I feel bad for some of the fans who are still around to this day who were there, and like, you know, but I'm sure they know it was like, we were like, we weren't prepared to be like trapped on a boat. We were too young and too energetic, and we really didn't know. There was no structure or discipline to it. It was crazy. We had like hundreds of family members. My mom was there. My dad was there. They were divorced. I mean, it was like, it was crazy, right? So we literally each had a guest list of like 200 people. So anyway, when we went to the first modern contemporary New Kids cruise, when we walked out on the Lido deck for the first time, I'm sorry, I keep saying Lido, it's Lido deck. Let me check that. When I walked
You're
on
the
the Lido
Canadian and
deck,
American, it's K. You can use Lido.
when I went on the Lido deck for the first time, all the guys, we were like, holy shit. So I'm going to tell you, the energy that the Blockheads brought made the cruise. There'd be no cruise today if not for that first Lido deck sail away party. I'll call it sail away so we don't fight about how to say Lido. That first sail away party, if that sail away party didn't have the energy that the Blockheads brought, there would never, nothing. There wouldn't be cruise 2. We'd be lucky if there was day 2 of cruise 1. Like, dudes would have been like, get me a helicopter, get me out of here. Like Jordan said he did in the 1990 cruise. That would have happened. The energy was so incredible on that first cruise. Like, it was mania. And look, we've been doing this for a lot of years. And when I say mania, like, I don't use that term lightly. It was like mania, and we didn't expect it. We didn't know what to expect. And here it was, boom. And I can tell you, to get back to your original question that started this long tangent that I'm known to go off on.
Love it. All good.
Every cruise, it's happened since, right? Now, that cruise didn't have a lot of structure, and I was trying to like do my thing on the mic and keep everyone engaged. Like, I do worry a lot. You know, I'm like a caretaker, so I do feel a great responsibility to like go really hard. Like that doesn't change. Like
we can tell. We know.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's like, and I don't know if everyone wants to stay on the Lido deck every night, all night, but I
When
want
did you go to the washroom, Donnie? That last night.
I didn't go.
You
I
didn't
never
go.
left.
You never.
I told my wife after because she's been on the cruise a bunch of times, I was like,
Okay.
I didn't leave. Like, and we started kind of on time this year on the parties, right? The theme parties, like we did good. Like it wasn't really a lot of whack-a-mole going on in the hallways. Like we were kind of like, all right, let's go. I didn't go anywhere. Like I went into the audience. I did the conga line around the whole boat.
Yeah.
But it didn't occur to me until, like, again, I don't think about it. It's not like I'm not like up there keeping score. Like, man, I'm really going hard up here. Like, or I gotta go pee. Like, I just didn't think of anything. I was so in the moment on this cruise more than ever before. Like, and I'm always in the moment on the cruise. Let me tell you, I'm always very present and committed to doing all I can. But this one, I don't know. I think it was a combination of all the stuff we've gone through the last few years, missing the cruise, the emotion of the virtual cruise. Like I really cried like that whole night. When they were clicking in live to other people like on the screens, like I don't know if I would see any people again that like I'm seeing these faces that I know and some more than others. And like, it was a very deep, I cry right now. Like it's that. Like it was very profound during that virtual cruise.
I think back to that cruise, and it was, you know, and I'm so grateful that you guys did it, because that was April 2020. We were just 1 month into the pandemic, and we needed it. And, you know, we were missing out. It aligned with when we would have been on the boat. We so needed it. But thinking back, it was so sad and scary.
Yeah.
But we made it. We made it through, and we made it on the boat. And I know some people weren't able to come on the boat, but hopefully had other amazing new kid experiences with you guys this summer, and can look forward to cruises in the future. But that was a wild time.
It really, it was. I remember when I started writing House Party with Lars, like it was maybe less than a week into like the shutdowns, and I remember like we were sending microphones to people's houses to record, and recording it on GarageBand, and people would fly their vocals to California to Lars and like through the internet. And I remember I was like, if we don't get this video done like in 2 days, I'm not putting the song out, because the COVID's going to be over. We're going to be back outside. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And literally like 5 months later, we're still inside. But it was the virtual cruise was probably a big part of it. And like, just again, I kept having this nightmare, and you know, I listen to you guys. Like I listen to what people say. I can't do everything. I can't achieve everyone's wishes, but I do my best, and I take notes, and I you know, like we talked about on tour, like fans were telling me in tweets and didn't even know if I'd ever see them, like, you should do Shoot. And I was like, damn, there's a guy rap on Shoot. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me talk to the girls and see if I could do it. Like I take notes. And like I remember Miss Joyce, who was
love her,
in the game show. I don't even know what the game show is called. Win, Lose or Draw.
Win, Lose or Draw, yeah.
Like she was, after the last real cruise, she was like, this one didn't have the zest, let's talk, let's talk before the next cruise. And like, she gave some notes, and it was like, I'm here for it. Like, and I do think, again, above all the planning, all the details, everybody put a lot of time into their costumes. Everyone puts a lot of time and effort into getting there, into planning, into saving money. Like it's a major undertaking for everyone. And I do think there was a magic in the air that just superseded everything this year. Everyone had a something, a deeper gratitude, a yearning, and it just didn't really taper off. You know, like I thought like, okay, well this night we're gonna sort of slow down. There's usually a like this night kind of plateaus and everyone flattens out and then they come back strong Sunday. It wasn't that. It was just like people were just like, no one stopped smiling, no one stopped celebrating, no one stopped being grateful and happy, and like everyone's like costumes every night. Like I'm seeing pictures because I'm trying to like keep the party going, right? And I don't want to disappear for an hour because I don't want people to be like, oh shit, okay. Because sometimes in the past when I've left the Lido deck like for 20 minutes, I might go get some snacks, have a drink, use the restroom, come back, and like I'll be like, oh shit, we're 20% less people than when I was last up here.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel that like, and if people want to go, I'm fine with that. But I don't want them to go because they think the party's over, because I don't, I'm there for you guys. Like I'm there until I get the sense that you guys don't want to be there anymore. Then I'm like, okay, good, we'll go. But yeah, I don't know if I answered any of your questions. I'm going on a tangent again.
And then some. And then some.
Yeah. These are all things we would have asked eventually anyway. So you just like, cut the question out and just kept rolling with it. It's good.
All right.
Just a note to people who are watching. I'm sorry, I turned off comments. Somebody commented.
I know. Where's the comments?
All of the comments were cut. Somebody said all of the comments are covering Donnie's beautiful face. So I turned it off. Okay.
Sorry, everyone. I like reading comments, but yeah.
I will turn it back on.
I get that.
I'm gonna.
No, whatever you guys. It's up to you guys. It's your show.
There we go.
They've screenshotted your face by now, so we're good.
Okay.
Everybody's had a good look.
I know.
Okay, comments are back on. Donnie, do you have any questions for us as cruisers?
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay.
And maybe folks in the chat can also respond as well.
Yeah, I still don't see the comments. Just FYI. Yeah.
I mean, they've paused for me.
We're still
saying.
Just
saying, Donnie Wi-Fi is just winning tonight. Can we just talk about that? There's 1,500 people here, and I know they've all probably experienced Donnie Wi-Fi in the worst way. Can we just say?
You can count this as a big old one Donnie internet today, or maybe internet 500.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm trying to turn it back on. I can see it on my end, but it's frozen. I'm sorry.
If you can see the comments, Mel, I'd rather like answer other people's questions, honestly.
Yeah. You'd rather answer other people's comments.
Oh,
I mean, you guys can ask more.
Okay, there are questions. Hold on. People have been submitting questions.
Great.
This is coming from Kayla Unfinished. Does Donnie get post-cruise depression?
Yes.
And how do you cure it besides doing something like this?
How do I get through it? Let me clarify. Jenny always will say things like, over the years, like she's made me aware, like I didn't know I got post-cruise depression and post-tour depression. And she would be like going on to a cruise or getting ready for another tour. She'd be like, "You gonna be okay after?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Oh, you dip hard." And I was like, "I do?" She was like, "Yeah, you kind of like, you definitely have a crash. Like you," and having seen the cruise, she's like, "Okay, now I understand why." But at first,
come down is like, real. Right?
Yeah, she didn't. The first time I did a cruise that we were together on, her dad went and her sister went, and like I crashed, and she felt it. Like she was like, "Whoa," and didn't get it. And I wasn't aware of the crash, right? Because I just I go back to work. Like I just go into my life, and I probably had a day or two off and was just like, my ears are throbbing still. Like I'm literally like 2 days after still hearing vroom, 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 because it's usually like some Titanium or We Found a Love in a Hopeless Place or Crash or something playing at the end, right? And it's like, and I don't sleep at the end of the cruise. I leave the Lido deck, go to my room, get my shit, and go. And I probably don't sleep literally till like a couple days later. so I'm still hearing the music and the, I'm still wobbly. So yes, I get post-cruise depression, but I've learned to turn it not into depression. So to me, it's a high.
Post-cruise delight?
Yeah, you can call it that. I stay in a place of gratitude, like super high. And so, and honestly, I think like everyone's like, this whole live is PCD and people hashtag it all the time and whatnot. That said, I do get a sense of it being a little more of a joyous post-cruise depression this time. And I certainly have that. And that could be me projecting it onto that because that's how I feel. I'm so thankful that we got to do this and that it was so magical, and that it's rare in life that, we think about doing something after a long time. When you wait so long for something, you meaning me, meaning us, meaning people in general, there's a tendency to be, let down. It's like an initial high and then and that did not happen on this cruise. It did not happen on tour. And to me, it's I attribute it to you guys. I attribute it to Blockheads. The same way I was just in awe of the energy on the sail away party, I was in awe of that energy the opening night of the tour in Cincinnati. I sometimes plan moments where we kind of hold after a move and like just let the sort of applause go or whatever. But on this cruise and on this tour in Cincinnati, when we finished Right Stuff, the scream just wouldn't stop. Like it just wouldn't end. And that decided what was going to happen next in the show. I had thought about, maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll do a little more of the old Right Stuff. We'll stop and then I'll say, you want a little more? Okay. And then Jordan is going to go, your first kiss was a sweet kiss, right? And now that would have been fun. Sorry if any of you guys are like, damn, that would have been better. Sorry. And trust me, I thought about adding it like night after night. But that it was so magical that first night that it just it lifted everybody in the band so much that it just probably got some guys through when we start doing 6 nights in a row, it's not easy. And I'm telling you, that opening night in Cincinnati just set the tone for everybody. Like, oh my gosh, we were so immersed in our lives and our work, and like I get so immersed in like getting the tour ready. It was like sometimes, and I'm like, okay, Blockheads are going to do this, and we're going to surprise them with this, and they're going to love this, and I want the video of the Peanuts gang dancing because that's going to be symbol of Blockheads, and blah blah. I got all these thoughts, but I always anticipate and plan and prepare for what I know you guys can typically do, but you always exceed my expectations. Again, going back to the question about did the cruise surprise me, or it always happens, and it's always just I don't even know how to explain what I feel when it happens. It could be noticing a costume that's clearly took so much effort and was so well thought out and so magical on a theme night. It could be, somebody who just, came from so far after so long. There's always something magical that happens. And when it does, it's like this light in me gets brighter, it gets brighter. And it's just a reflection of what I'm seeing. It's like I see magic from you guys, and I lift, I elevate, and it's hard to explain. And I know it sounds weird sometimes, and I'm sorry to anyone who thinks it sounds like a little cryptic or ethereal or nonsensical, but it's real. And I know it's a greater power at work through all of us. It's just so magical, and I'm just in awe of all of it. I really am. I'm just like, I sometimes step out of myself and just watch this magical ride happening, and I can't really put it into words. I hope I'm
we should
putting in
do
its
it
word
again.
somewhat decent.
Yeah.
We should do it again, Donnie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In case nobody mentioned that to you.
Woo.
Listen, yeah. It'd be hard to not cruise again. Yeah, I can't see that not happening.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to twist an arm or two. And I'm not saying any of the new kids have said they don't want to cruise. I'm not saying any such thing. Please don't gossip, anyone out there. Don't fret. And
always do what you can for us. So whatever it is, we will be gratefully waiting for the announcement.
yeah, look, we have to do it again. We just have to. It's really something.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just give us a little bit more time between when it's announced and when it goes on sale, that would be appreciated. Just a little bit more time.
We really yeah. Well,
Okay, you take that note.
well, nothing's planned yet.
Okay.
There is a delicate dance that happens, I will say, for those interested in looking behind the curtain. We have to find a boat. Carnival just doesn't be like, take the boat, pick a boat, any boat. They're like, no, we have this boat this weekend and this boat this weekend. And sometimes they'll say, we have no weekends. You have to go Monday to Friday. And we're like, so that boat, for example, comes in Monday morning into Miami, right? Like, so This year we partied right into Miami. That announcement's like, get off the freaking boat that they say all day. Like, I can't take it. That's why I'm the first one off. I can't listen to that guy.
Yeah.
Or person, whoever's saying it. I gotta go. That shit makes me. I'd rather hear thump 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 for a week than please get the fuck off the boat. Right.
Those announcements are rolling in like every 10 minutes. It's
torture. It's torture, especially for those of us who haven't slept. So we leave the boat. That boat is turned around. So that meeting in the mustard station, there's one happening that afternoon at 4 p.m. with other people who are going somewhere else, right? So we have no control over what ship we're getting on. They might say you can have the Conquest this year. They might say you got to take a different one this year. We might say, well, we don't want that one. We need a larger one because, based on this year's cruise, we're expecting it's going to be probably more enthusiasm and energy for the next one. So there's that. Then when we finally secure the boat, we have to make sure the dates are going to work for everyone in the band. We have to make sure it doesn't be like on, Canadian Thanksgiving or other things. We have to be mindful of that stuff. So we'll literally be like, Jared will call and say, hey, I talked to Hal. We can do this and we can do this. And I'm like, you better ask the guys because someone's birthday's there, someone's anniversary could be there. There's so many things to contend with. And then once we secure it, we have to say, well, do we want to do it right now? It's like a week before Christmas. People are buying gifts for their families. Like, maybe it's not a good thing. Oh, but maybe the husbands will want to surprise their wife. Like, it's just so much thought goes into it. So really, it's never a thing of us like, and I'm not saying you were suggesting this, Mel, like no one's like, we want everyone to know as soon as possible. And then there's a delicate dance with that because some people aren't ready when it's announced and they would be ready a month later, right? So then some people like, it's too soon. We try to put ourselves in the fans' position as much as possible and try to be mindful to not, disappoint or step on anyone's toes or put people in an impossible situation. And even, to ask, like, are you ready to make this commitment again so quickly after we just made it, right? It's a lot. Emotionally, we all want to do it, right? Spiritually, we all want to do it. Financially, physically, logistically, it's very difficult for everyone to do it. And that, when I say everyone, I mean all of us, Blockheads included, right? It's so everyone's given a lot of consideration and everything is, given a ton of consideration. Me personally, like, I really want to go back to the spring. It's very hard for me to get out of Blue Bloods to go on the boat. It's really hard to, get the time off, especially now there's still COVID issues. We still are in a very strict environment on set, you know, and it's like, I'm literally like, yeah, I'm going on a cruise, everyone. And they're literally like, yeah, maybe we won't give you those 4 days off. Yeah, we don't want you coming back from a cruise ship to Blue Bloods. Yeah, nah. You know, so it's tricky for me. Not saying it's not tricky for everyone, but it's difficult. So long story short, again, I'm rambling, forgive me, but I'm just trying to give people a little insight, because I know there's frustration sometimes with how these things come about, but it's never done with any malice or any lack of consideration. There's tremendous amount of conversation and detail are put into all this stuff, and so it's sometimes tough to hear, like, you know, comments, and I don't care what people say about me or us, or, you know, you can vent and be frustrated. I respect everyone's opinion. It is sometimes like, oh, if you only knew how complicated it is, right? And you know, and by the same token, that doesn't make our situation any better or more demanding of respect, because you guys have your own very intense amounts of work that you have to do to pull this off too. So that, you know, that's, to me, that's equal to what I have to go through and we have to go through to make this work. It's just sometimes in those moments, right, it's like if you get passed up, or someone is rude to you, a security person entering the boat, or someone's like, yeah, you know, someone at the check-in isn't as polite as they could be. It's like, I went through a lot to get here.
Yeah.
Don't dump on me right now. You know, it's like that could really be annoying, right? Yeah. So I understand. And we have our own moments of that too, but I think we do a good job of all managing it.
I think we all appreciate your breaking that down for us. Like, there's so many moving pieces to all of this. So I think one of the key takeaways is to just, you got to, as best as possible, Blockheads, stay ready, right?
Yeah.
As best as possible. And you know what? There will be, if you're unable to book on, you know, that first day, the on sale, you will have chances, you know, throughout, you know, between that date and when the cruise starts.
I do have a tip too for anyone who's like worried about money, or like you're talking about Christmas, like, oh, do we do it before Christmas? And then people, you know, might have money they can't spend for Christmas or whatever. But I've always asked my mother-in-law for a gift card to Carnival, for Carnival gift. I can't use it to book, but I can use it on the ship. I can use it for my sail away card. And
it makes the trip more manageable, right?
I've had $100 since 2019, and I didn't even use it this year. It's still sitting in my wallet.
I'm going to start doing that. They have Carnival gift cards?
Yeah. I don't have it with me, but it's in my wallet. I did use it. So I'll have it to use next time. So I have to book next time. So I use my Carnival gift card.
You can't let that go to waste. So you have to go on the cruise. There you go.
Oh, done deal. Because everyone's like, you know, no one ever knows what to get me for Christmas. Like, I'm literally, when I hang up, I'm calling my wife. I'm saying, tell everyone Carnival gift cards.
You're welcome, Mrs. Jenny.
Brilliant.
You know what, you guys, I see people are adding questions. I can see the number like coming up, but I can't click into the questions anymore. Ashley, did I make you a moderator? Are you able to see them?
Yep, okay. I see questions.
I see nothing. I see nothing. So sorry, everyone, your comments, I'm sure they're lovely. I'm still
one that I did see, Donnie, did you guys know about the fireworks? Who came up with that?
Only I knew.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know all the details. But I knew, because, you know, one of the things, and it didn't go, it was one of the little bumpy spots of the cruise. The DJs really, really worked hard. There was a snafu with the DJs, but I will say they did like a sort of a presentation of like, on 80s night, we're going to play these kind of records. And they literally had lists of songs. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, uh-oh. Can you hear him, Ash?
I'm here.
Okay, sorry. You
blinked for a second.
You know why I blinked? It's not my Wi-Fi, everyone. My battery went to 20%, and it warned me.
Mine too.
I'm going to plug in.
Go get the charger. Yes, thank you.
I got it right here. I'm good.
Yay.
Yeah,
hopefully this doesn't mess with my Wi-Fi. Are we good?
We're good.
We're good. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So shit, I forgot the question.
Fireworks.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a snafu
So,
or a snafu, as you said.
well, it was Bring Back the Time
Yeah.
night, and so the first night, the two DJs who'd been on all the Zooms knew what the plan was. I edited a video to open the cruise, to open each theme night. You know, we'll come out, do this. We're going to leave after now. We're going to put on the red Nanook hoodies. We're going to come back. That's when DJ Blockhead was first going to come out, was going to bring us out in the red hoodies. And then, you know, Bring Back the Time. We're going to play the tour opening video. Then we're going to put the picture of us that we replicated, and the baby Blockheads matched us.
Yeah.
Brilliant, by the way. I know a few other people did it too. All brilliant. So Jared had worked on surprising us with the fireworks. And when we were going to go out, he was like, okay, so listen, I'm going to stop the music 10 minutes in. And I was like, okay, last night, so the two DJs who'd been on all the Zooms, on opening night, they let another guy who hadn't done any of the Zooms play. And that's when Joey got a little annoyed.
Okay.
But that guy he didn't have the notes, right? So he kind of went down the wrong path a little bit musically. And so that's kind of what happened with that. And they were like, oh yeah, we had the other guy start, and he didn't know it was like love. Everything was going to be love. And, you know, it was Love Eternal night. And so the second night, Jared was like, I have to stop in 10 minutes in. And I was like, all right. He was like, it's going to be great. I said, I know what it is. I know it's going to be great. It's fine. Just.
Do you ever get surprised? Like, I feel like nothing really gets past you.
No, it was a surprise. It was a surprise.
Okay. Okay.
But what happened was he stopped, and it's funny because I turned my back, and the guys didn't know, so I had to sort of rally them, you know, like, you know, someone may have to go to the bathroom, someone may need to drink, you know, there's different things going on with the guys, and there's times when I'm like really like focused on keeping everyone together, and there's times I got to let people go and hope they come back, right? So when I turned around, someone on the Lido deck pulled like a streamer thing. So some streamers went off, and I was like, that's it? That's what the surprise was? Like, there's supposed to be like fireworks. And then I looked out of the corner of my eye and saw it, and fireworks started playing, and I was just like, tears. Yeah. I have to say one thing, though.
Yeah.
As great as the fireworks were, and it was magic. It was magical. And we could only do it because we had 2 days at
Half Moon Cay.
Like, if we had gone to a port, we couldn't have done the fireworks. That only was possible because we had 2 days there. And so we were stationary.
Oh, God.
And could have a barge come up. So a barge pulled up, had to be far enough away that it wouldn't endanger the boat, but we could still see it. So Jared pulled that off. It was aces. And kudos to him. It was really great. That said, excuse me. There were people that kept pulling these confetti cans.
I noticed they were around one of the side
every
stages.
Single time. It was money. Like, I meant to make an announcement on the Lido deck before the cruise ended to say, whoever's been doing these confetti cans, you're hired for the next tour.
Yeah.
It was every single time it exploded. And you can always do confetti with me. Like, if you did it right now, I'd be like, yeah, it's always perfect. But I mean, the music, it was like they literally said, all right, if this song plays at this moment, boom! Like, it was perfection. That's what I mean. Like, am I ever surprised? Am I ever like, things happen next week? Yes. Like, who the fuck brought all this confetti and then nailed it? Like, canister after canister of confetti that exploded every single time. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, okay, I just elevated. Like, I'm not gonna, like, my feet are not gonna touch the ground for an hour. I'm gonna be floating on this Lido deck with everyone. Like, it just, these magical things happen to just.
I think
I don't
it
know what it
might
does
have.
for everyone else. I can only tell you what it does for me. It just like infuses me with like spirit. Like it's unbelievable.
Well, it tied in the concert with the cruise, right? Because we all love our confetti moments, the confetti
Yep.
moments during the concert. So this was a little nod to that. I
Yeah,
think
but
it
we
might have been
can't
a
really
couple of
bring
German
confetti. We can't.
girls.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I think it might have been a couple of the German girls, but I'm not.
Yeah, I got to find out. I'm
Yeah,
sure someone will comment or something. It was crazy, and we really can't do it ourselves. Like I would have confetti like the whole cruise, but they can't because it goes in the water and it goes there. So, but the small cans that whichever blockheads were doing was like it was money.
well,
It
look out because next year I'm sure
amazing.
everyone's going to have.
Yeah, now that
Great,
you
Now you said it. Yeah.
great, great. Now, if I get a phone call on my end, hey Donnie, so I spoke to the person from Carnival and they said, yeah, the bands can't bring the confetti cans.
This
Just
conversation
know
never
there will
happened.
be. Well, this conversation never happened,
Yeah.
but just know there will be a month of negotiating behind the scenes that may delay the announcements. Don't get mad.
Okay, got it. Ashley, do you want to pull a question from?
Yes. Okay. So Margaret Sakrani, I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. Okay.
That's,
She had asked how you keep your feet from hurting. I think I'm going to find her exact question here, but she asked a couple of really good questions. Which, hi, Margaret. Thanks for watching. She
Are
said,
you able to turn the chat on your end too?
No, if people ask a question, I can pull up questions.
Right. Okay. Sorry, guys. I can't. I've lost all
That's
control
okay.
of the.
We'll do our best.
On here. Okay.
I love that.
Margaret,
Margaret, for those who don't know, is Yike's sister, who passed away last year. And Margaret did her first cruise. Amazing. She's just like now fully like in like PCD mode.
Yep.
Right. And she did it to carry on the tradition for her sister.
Yes.
But
amazing.
yeah.
Okay. So
I don't feel anything. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. My feet don't hurt. No. My legs were sore when I got off the boat. My quads were really sore. But yeah, I may wake up sore. I just stretch out. We brought a physical therapist. I think I'm the only one that stretched every day. So I just, I want to go like all out constantly. So I'm like, I take necessary steps.
You got to try those boots, Donnie.
What boots?
Those recovery boots.
Oh,
I
the compression.
No.
Corey, who was with me, for those who don't know Corey, he's the guy with the red hat and all the tattoos that was following me around the whole cruise. He brought compression pants, and I put them on 3 times.
Okay.
I was ready. Listen, I self-care on the boat.
Well, that was going to be my question. That was going to be one of my questions is what does recovery look like for you? I think, you've got the IV and like compression, and what do you do to recover when you get back? Because we know when you get back, it's still go, 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 go.
Oh, after it I just got to do what everyone else does. I mean, I can drink water, take vitamins, do an IV. It doesn't matter. It's nothing is gonna, it takes a few days to get rid of the sea legs. It takes a few days to get my hearing back properly. I can't talk. I had to literally do like a big stop, you're under arrest, like screaming, yelling scene. There was no voice, no voice at all. And then like everyone's looking at me like, what's wrong with your throat? You got COVID?
We know where you're at though, right?
Yeah, but I'm on a cruise ship. Everyone's thinking I'm going to come back with COVID. So
got it. I see.
And I'm like working, on a set where we have to test every day for COVID. It's just crazy. So it's all a delicate dance, But yeah, I recover the same as everyone. It's get off the boat. The sun hurts. Everything hurts, get on a plane, like confused, dizzy, like euphoric, but really tired and probably borderline crabby, but still this great joy at the same time. Hurting, everything bright hurts. It's all the same. It's this really, it takes no matter what I do or what I could try to do, it doesn't matter. It's at least until Friday before I feel somewhat
Back to normal.
back to normal. Yeah. Physically, yep.
Yeah.
And again, there's an inevitable possibility of like a crash.
Yeah.
I just work really hard to stay in a gratitude. So like when I start to feel myself dipping and like crashing a little, I'm like, I just think of how blessed that I was to have this experience. And
That's awesome.
you know, and I can go on Instagram, like people are still posting things, and I try to be mindful of those who weren't on the cruise and like not keep posting cruise just because I don't want everyone to feel bad. But everyone just keeps posting such great stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't see that. Oh wow, I didn't see that. And then I'm like, oh shit, I feel bad. I didn't notice that costume. I wish I did, but now I can see it right now. So my gratitude is staying really high because I keep having new revelations.
Did you guys see the clip? So Nikki and Brooke talked about
I sound
it.
like a blockhead. I really sound like a blockhead.
Yes,
Don't
good.
I?
Yeah.
Nikki and Brooke talked about this clip that they saw after the cruise. They talked about it in today's episode of their podcast, My So-Called Whatever. And I saw it yesterday, and it's this short clip of John on Bring Back the Time Night. And like he's in the corner, like sitting on the stage. He's got his wig off, and it's in his hand. And he's about to put it on. He looks at it, and he goes, nah, forget it. And he just ditches it. And that's like one of
I was supposed to return it to the hairdresser on Blue Bloods, by the way. Thank you, Jonathan.
You should auction it off and put the money toward a charity.
They're
or something.
not ours. You know, I have to
Bring
Back the Time video, Boys in the Band video. No, these are hair pieces that my hairstylist, and he does mine and Tom Selleck's hair on Blue Bloods.
Okay.
He does this for me because we're friends. We're dear friends. He loves the guys. And I'm like, hey, you got to do my music video Saturday. And he's like, what? I'm like, I need 20 wigs. I need this. I'm sending him pictures. He's
what's
like,
he going to do with like some musty wig that...
It wasn't a musty wig. It was something else. He transitioned it to make it look like the 1986 Jonathan picture, and now has to put it back to be like some stuntman to try to look like, you know, Vanessa Ray's partner on Blue Bloods. Like this is I'm supposed to return those hairs, and someone has John's wig, and I'll never get it back.
Oh my gosh! In the comments, if anyone's commented that they have the hair, I found the sparkle. I found the poppers people. Someone commented they're the ones with that brought the confetti cannons.
You're legends.
It was Melanie. Oh God, I'm gonna find it. There's a lot of comments.
You can screen cap it. It's fine. I thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Melanie and your friends. Thanks for bringing the poppers.
Confetti queens.
Poppers.
You got to change your Instagram handles now. You're no longer just Melanie. So you are the confetti queens or whatever.
Cruise confetti queens.
Yeah, there you go. Any other questions in there? We actually have 4 more minutes left before Instagram's going to cut us off.
That's good, because I don't really go to sleep. No, but I do go to work at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Ouch.
Do you have questions for us, Donnie? Come up with anything? No pressure.
Well, what is it? I don't know. I guess I would say, is there anything that disappointed you guys and that we can do better?
You know, when we decided to do these, we did a TikTok live last week, and now we're doing the Instagram live this week. We made a very conscious decision that we were going to talk about all the positives, and that anything that negative happened is not even worth our time because the positives outweighed it. So
that's again, like this is a therapy session, so we're focusing on the positive, right?
You know, this is the kind of therapy
we're keeping it light. Yeah.
This is, I swear, it's like, yeah.
Okay, but with asterisks, this is not actual therapy. We're not licensed therapists. But yes, we're choosing to keep things light.
Neither am I, but I do my best. Yeah, I think I know the answer to this, but would people eventually like to get back to like May cruise instead of October? Isn't May better?
I run into 2 problems there. Keep this in mind when you're having these conversations. The cruise is always on my husband's birthday, so I miss my husband's birthday to be there. That's number 1.
Sorry.
So if you move May, that's fine. But that's also our wedding anniversary. So
Okay.
he might have to come with me next time.
That seems like a great way to spend your anniversary.
Be
to
16
me.
years. Be a great anniversary party for us.
I'm fine with May. We have a Canadian holiday in May. It's Victoria Day. We can miss it. It's
Well,
fine.
there's holidays every month.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something. I don't know. You can let me know what the comments say if there's a poll. I don't think it would be May next year. That would be a little too fast of a turnaround. I think right? So we've already probably cleared that up.
That's a lot of the questions in the comments are about when the cruise is going to be. So this doesn't really, there's no real answer. So there's a lot of comments about it.
I would guess it would be similar to this year. To get back to May, we would probably have to skip a year. So that's, again, one of the things that we go through is like, if we want to go back on a May cycle, we can't really do it 6 months, 7 months apart, right? It's kind of putting too much duress on everyone, right? Of you guys, specifically fans, blockheads. So we have to be mindful of that, right? So to skip it to May, we'd probably have to skip a year. So what we talk about, so what we talk about is something like maybe we do it next year in October, and then maybe we skip a year, but we do something on land that's different, like a on land cruise at a resort or something.
At a resort,
like that, conference or something like that, and then we can go back to the cruise in a different time a year later. So those kind of conversations happen, but it's always trying to be mindful of the amount of work it takes for you guys to do these undertakings.
We've got a lot of people
1 minute left.
1 minute left.
Well, you guys should close. I just thank you. Fun. You've requested me. I was literally brushing my teeth and getting ready to turn off the game and go to bed early tonight. I was going to get a full night's sleep, and now 2 hours later, here I am.
Thank you for accepting that, Donnie. I was like, listen, there's 5 minutes left of this thing. Let's see if he's going to join, and you did, and you just as usual, above and beyond for us.
Super grateful. It was really fun to hear everyone chat earlier. I did miss some of my so-called whatever, but the baby blockheads and Megs and everyone, it was really sweet, and and you guys did a wonderful job. So is this like a weekly thing now? Is this like weekly therapy for everyone?
As long as we need it. I think as long as people need therapy, unlicensed therapy.
Unlicensed
therapy.
Send me
a heads up.
Okay.
I'd like to hear other people talk next time, so maybe I'll try to recruit a new kid for you or get more blockheads on.
Yes.
If you do another therapy session, I'll be there. I probably need a few more bouts of therapy. Great.
So we love hearing that it's not just us who needs this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I need it. Of course. Come on.
Oh.
This is my life. I love this. I live for this. This is what I do. I love you guys. The cruise was a highlights of my life and career. It was really that magical. I'm just so grateful.
We're grateful we were there with you for that experience then, because it was.
I'm grateful. It's only that because of you guys. So trust me, it's all reciprocal here.
Well, we appreciate you and your time and your lack of sleep.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Donnie. And I guess we're signing off. Ashley, this has been epic. Oh my gosh.
What? We're having a good time, guys.
That's a good time.
That's it. Love life.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Stay tuned to
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Donnie.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you. To everyone watching, please, if you can, follow me and follow Ashley. And maybe we can do this again, and there will be fewer technical difficulties. I'm sorry about that, but sorry?
Every time we're getting better.
We are. And look, we're going longer than an hour, so maybe we can go longer than an hour on Instagram. I don't know. We're figuring this out. Like I said last week, we're older than baby blockheads, I guess, but we're figuring it out as we go along. And thank you to the 1,081 people who are here left.
Find out that guy.
So
that's how I'm leaving. I'm leaving with what do you call it? Paper mache.
The paper mache sparkly, whatever that is, mural. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.